Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host Martin Wong, and this week, the Wednesday, it's also where we will be featuring our live FB tonight. So make sure you catch me. Of course, behind the background, it's something that we are widely promoting. It's our Trade VSA Market Conference for 2022, at least for this part of this year. And the topic will be Wyckoff VSA, the new path to stock market analysis. And I do hope many of you who are watching this were able to join our free talk that we are doing, the free conference. And all you have to do to get your ticket is to activate your monthly pass. That's right. Once you activate your monthly pass, you're able to register for this market conference, and we are featuring very international VSA and Wyckoff speaker. Of course, not to forget also you're truly in here to bringing you all things matters to the stock market. Now let's get on to what we have for you this morning in our breakfast show in here. Now, of course, this morning we are looking at the intermediate level, which is usually our ST2. So what we have for you this morning in our news roundup, of course, news roundup is the opening of our market, opening of our economy and also our borders. So with that, we are seeing some of the stocks, as I explained this morning, in the Telegram Trade VSA Trading Idea, and make sure you join that for all news that is updated every 135 of the week. Okay, so what has happened is as the market reopens, the border are reopening, which is 1st of March. Tentatively, yet to be confirmed. So many of the travel-related stocks are picking up in here, and of course, the Genting Malaysia is one of those stocks that have been highlighted. Not to forget Air Asia, and many of the other consumer products seems to be doing much better, coming along what we've seen. So are we seeing what we are seeing right now? The market bottoming. Of course, if you look from the KLCI, one of the big prominence things is the turning of the Green Pentagon that you see here. So that has started to turn green in here. No doubt the question is, do we have the support right at just slightly about 1510 and the resistance at 1560 in here? We have the month of so-called January, a sell-off a little bit here and here, but you notice we do have a double bottom in here, and the lowest point where we reached was in December. I do think that the bottom has been reached, and much will be said tonight, so make sure you join me tonight on the live FB in here. Of course, do check out the others features that we have on the foreign funds flows, the sector analysis, either from your SMARTRobie apps or go over to our tradevsa.com website for all things matter to the stock market in here, so we can help you to trade smarter every time. Now, not forget is the continued CPO prices, as I'm watching today, continue to hit almost 5,754 in here. But all things be said, the industry outlook by the analysts regarding to the plantation, the local plantation sector, hasn't been that great. If you are trading on the CPO prices, definitely that is been a lot of great trade in here. So if you look from the plantation sector using the VSA 360 chart here, you could see it also formed a very similar base, holding up above the ATR stop loss here. And of course, the industry do have a neutral call on the local plantation due to the concern of the environment safety offset that we are seeing a lot been on the labor shortage, as well as the undemanding valuation, which is, they are not coming. But would that change if the market, in this case plantation, break through the 6,600 level in here, and would we see higher prices in here? Now that is going to take into place as we've seen further market coming into it. So right now, what we have is the plantation is holding up a very nice base in here. And of course, if you can pick a couple of good stocks from the SMARTRobie there, where it will have many of some of these very good fundamentals, as well as dividend planning at very high ratings of the Robie rating, and that's something that you could use to buy that for a longer term in here. All right. And if you have any other stocks that you want us to look at, feel free to put it into the comment below, and be happy to put it all and able to answer you. Of course, next, we all know the financial stocks that we see from Robie chart in here, and under the hot sectors, the financial will continue to do well. We have energy. Oh, it dropped out from the top 5 that we have here already. Of course, on our VSA 360, you're able to see that. Energy, transportation, industrial, property, and utility are in this. Of course, you can also click on that buttons that we have here. That pretty much tells you the overall sector. All right, switching to a wider chart here, you could see on this side of the chart there, we have finance turning red already, although some of these stocks has already peaked, and I'm going to show you what I mean here. So you can see right now there is a logical explanation. You can see the market has already moved up, in this case for the finance stocks in here, and right now it's facing a lot of selling in here. Energy continue to be holding strong, transportation. So generally, if you are trading on the sector analysis, doing a rotational play, you want to be trading those that are least strong that will become stronger. In this case, probably property and industrial products in here. But on the case of the LPI, the market has called for market performance in here, and no doubt right now the target price is at 1420. So from the chart here, it's already hit it lah. So hit it up, not much of an upside in here. So if you have this, which is a book value of 554, so right now let's look at let's get out from here and going into LPI. Right, it does pay a pretty decent dividend, I believe. So check out on the stock fundamental here, and if you are not just activated for unlimited usage on the here, you can see 5% dividend, all right, which is actually rated 3 out of 8 in here. Right now it's considered a bit overvalued. Of course, the fair price that we have here is about 14 ringgit. So 14 ringgit, and right now it's 14.20. Okay. Now, let's turn on to our news headline. Next one is Hatalaga, which is the rubber glove maker in here, and the earnings was down to a lower ASP, and we did have today the sell-off that we've seen. No doubt it turned Green Pentagon, hoping that it would break through the 6 ringgit level in here, but it does look like 6 ringgit is one of the strong resistance in here. And this morning we have the market down, I believe, almost 5% in here to 530, right? And yesterday was down, did try to hit 580 in here, and hopefully all this selling, once it stops, and remember, usually when a certain quarter is down and the next quarter when you do well, you see stocks to move up. But right now it does have a very nice base support in here. All things being said, the net profit tumbled 74% to 260, about 260 million ending 31st of December 2021 from a year ago. And of course, we all know about this as the ASP prices due to the overall competition that is coming in, and we all know the big street trunk in Thailand as well, the one in China, Blue Medicals, they are one of those also considering to ramping up their production, as also some of our second tier rubber glove maker like CarePlus and Avanta are also making inward road to the AD. So the big players like Top Glove, Hatalaga and Kosan are facing a lot of competition, and that is due to the declining ASP that we've seen in here. Overall, I do think in the longer term, much longer term, there are potential in a lot of these rubber glove sector. Okay, let's move on to our next story in here on the healthcare hospital. IHH. Now IHH has remained sideways, you can see in here on this chart, holding up above $6 in here. Did had some sort of a big line change in here, but immediately when we have to this market, the market seems to be correcting right now. I do think IHH is also another dividend player for those of you who are looking for yield and dividend on the stock fundamental in here. That one will be a much better stock rating. Okay, the yield has definitely dropped on this one, dividend 0.56, so I take back what I've said there. And you can see PE is about 31 times with the ROE of 8, giving it a non-rating because of the lower return on equity. You can see generally in the whole sector in here, we have sector average of 28% compared to 8% ROE. and that's what causing this market here. But they are looking for a buy call on IAH on 751 in here, right, with a PE of 31 times, and looking for improving ROE. You can see ROE now is only 8%, so they are looking at least a double-digit return on that one. Then you can see probably this IAH stock can go back and retest back at least the old high at 750, which is about another $1 move from here. Okay, and moving to the US market in here, and despite what we've seen of the inflation pressure that we have on US continue to hit the 7%. Yesterday, President Biden came in and talked about the jobs that's been created has been great, and that's why the market decided to move higher despite what we talked about early on. So all that news about the interest rate hike has already been priced in. So right now, when the talk about inflation is no longer in play because the new word is jobs number. So the stocks defy the climbing bond yield as the bond yield go higher, hitting 1.9% here, almost touching 2, because the inflation need to be kept down to 2%, and that was the mandate of the US FOMC. But right now, I do think that the 7% inflation has already been peaked in here. So we do see the US market correction are in progress. They are right now probably hitting the low already, very likelihood to be low. Let's take a look at the chart in here. You can see on the 3-month chart, the Green Pentagon has already arrived and holding up the 4,500 support level in here. That seems to be a good level in here. Of course, the old high is about 4,800 on the S&P 500 here. Now, moving on, opportunities on the tech sectors still remain. And one of the stories that was brought up was NVIDIA was almost in the bear market. Is it time to buy this high-flying chip maker? Of course, one of the news that many of you may have heard is the ARMS and NVIDIA buying it that has been called off. So that stocks is taking, and NVIDIA is actually correcting as what we've seen right now in here. So here you can see at $240 US in here. Is it really much in the bear market? From 320 to 240, so that it, and also they are pricing in also the news of the non-acquisition that did not go through by SoftBank. So right now, that's why we are seeing it. But no doubt it has already turned Green Pentagon in here. And would this be an opportunity for you to buy in if you feel that the semiconductor industry continue to move higher here? Okay, and on the Singapore side, the couple of stocks watched that was made up by the BT, Singapore, Manulife, US REITs, Ascenda, ComfortDelGro. These are the stocks that continue to do much better. But we do have another stock which we did talk about last week, is the ST59. Okay, so ST59 SGS market has shown that that is already turned Green Pentagon. So you can see right now in here, this stock is making a big comeback, but this is not the ST59. Just hold on. This one is the STI stock index. Now it's very important to show that the Singapore market really recovering, doing well. As I said before, maybe this is also taking a cue from the booming of the finance sectors, which you can also check out here. Just switching to a wider chart, going SGX and hitting the hot sectors. So you look down at the hot sectors in here: energy, finance, and utility. So right, that's where all are the big players, and that seems to be moving the STI that you see right now in this market, really hitting high at this junction in here on the STI. And of course on S59, which is STI, it's a base building. So are we looking at the S59 SIA Engineering playing a catch-up as the economic reopening? This is definitely a good way to see that, likely to retest back the old high that we've seen in here. Possible market opportunity for all who is looking into the SGX market in here. I felt that there are a lot of opportunity more on the Singapore side compared to the Malaysia side. Now, revisiting the old trade idea that we have last week, MBSB on the 12th of January, Coastal, Hector in here. Let's take a look at what we have previously. And here we have Hector is the stocks that continue to do well, as I shared on Monday. So they're still waiting for the stocks. Okay, you can see Hector continue to do well, which is, we pick it up somewhere on the 23rd of December, a nice run. And if you were to do that, and let's see how much was that. Okay, that is almost a 20% nice run for Hector here. And the other stocks that we were talking about was Coastal, which is an oil and gas player. All right, continue. Oh, had a Green Pentagon breaking up higher. Very nice. Just managed to hold above the ATR stop loss. And of course, all prices continue to go up. You see that moving up too. MBSB. All right, also turned Green Pentagon and moving up. So we are keeping into these stocks that we have on our watch list. So for the, let's take a look at what we have for our, the so-called January 2022. We have Hector, Costa, and the other one was Amanda. All right, let's take a look at Amanda because that's the one that we have for our stage 2 shares in January 2022, which we did pick up on the 58 and 51 cents. So that was the stocks that we were looking about last week. Okay, yes, it's continued to go up just like the energy sectors. So this is taking a cue from the rising oil prices that we've seen here. So Amanda's, Sims, Costa, Hector, and MBSP are doing pretty well. That was the stocks that we put on for our January 2022. So it's good that all of you activate your monthly pass so you can use this watch list that you can see right now. Costa just turned Green Pentagon on the 8th of February. 8th of February in here, you can see that's the one which is underlying. All right, and underlying here, and that's the one that you can use to benefit you if you are into the sector rotation in here. Now, of course, if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, do pencil in there and we'll be happy to look into it. All right. Now, on this week, for a new stock that will be added on to our watch list, yeah, so make sure you do this, is ST2 in here would be switching to the February, all right. And we're going to set up the lower bound and upper bound for our weekly resistance in here. So here we have Genting Malaysia, as I said before, which is also aligned with what we have earlier on with the whole sector opening in here. So let's take a look at Genting and switching to KLCI Robie chart here. So Genting, GE, and M. Right, and we want to look at the trading plan, which is the possible weekly resistance, which is 308, okay, 308 for 4%, R2 with the 329. So we'd likely use 329 because 4%, if you're shorter term, you want to go for 4% in here, but a bit longer term, it'll be 329. So we can set that for 329 or 325 in here on the side of our stop loss, okay, for which is usually our weekly resistance, or we will use the exit strategy in here. 329 for the top side, and for the bottom side we are looking at 270. All right, so what we do from here is to set up this market, go to Genting Malaysia, go back to my watch list here, we switch over to February, not this one, stage 2, and we hit this one and we want to edit. So 329 and 270. All right, that's it. And this would be our 9 February trade idea for stage 2. Stage 2 shares, okay? So there you go, we save it. And there you go. That's how we are able to set up this trade idea in here, just to show you in here. And Genting right now is, if you can see from my real-time chart here, is previously was up about 1% to 298. This morning has slightly pulled back by 1 cent to 0.3. But it has turned the Green Pentagon on the 8th of February in here. All right, so that's the one you'll be looking at. And of course, you can also check out the chart on the SMARTRobie app in here. All right, of course, Genting has moved up a fair bit almost in here, but I do think the opening of the theme park and also the resolution of the naming and the licensing has been fixed, so they are looking into right now a probably smoother market to go ahead in here. Now, of course, something that we've been promoting, which is our masterclass next weekend. Next weekend on the February intake, and for those of you who are registered, thank you for your support in here. And for those of you who are thinking in here, you still have time. We have a few seats left in here. And for those of you who are our members in here, do come back for the next attendance for our masterclass, our 3-day masterclass, which start next week. As I said before, as long as the subscription is maintained, we do welcome you back to our masterclass as we are learning more things and adding it more features that will help you to capitalize on the year 2022, right? Small investment, big gain in the market that we see so far. All right. And right next is, of course, we'll be looking at a couple of shares that you all want me to look at. And don't forget to go over to our Google Play Store, right? And give us a review in here. You can see those and also on our Apple Play Store for our SMARTRobie app in here. And of course, some of you have a couple of stocks that you want me to look at. Feel free to pencil those in here. We got Mayfun on Anju. Okay, Anju. So let's take a look at Anju right now. All right, Anju is starting to take off in here. Now, again, going to the market stages, it is approaching on the red line. So once again, the red line, do not buy anymore. Okay, this is where you want to start to think to ready to take profit. All right, ready to take profit. You can see, right? So you don't want to be buying just like when you're up here, up to this junction in here. It's always great to buy just below the Green Pentagon. So if you bought it around the Green Pentagon, below the green line here, that's really a good side of it, right? Below the Green Pentagon. So once it started to move up like what we've seen in here, right? That's where what we call the danger point. Okay, so the danger point will put you in a very distressed situation. Then you can avoid this kind of sell-off that we've seen in here. So that is what we call an early warning system in here. So for those of you who don't have the market stages, or those of you who already have the market stages being a part of our member in here, check out and make sure you use this to your advantages. Okay, to your advantages. All right, any other stocks? Okay, we got the Cool looking at Hyaptek. Okay, we got also CK and MYEG. Great to see all our members in here. Hyaptek is also good, not really a problem in here. Still staying below, right? Just starting to move up. Okay, you can see starting to move up in here. The Green Pentagon just below the green line. That's the really good entry in here, and that's what I'm talking about. So Hyaptek still okay. MYEG. Okay, MYEG in here had a big move, Green Pentagon, and this morning still okay. You can see below the green just below the green line in here. And to me, those are the stocks that you want to be interested in here. So to ensure that when it gets up to this range here, this is where I talk about a bit on the oversold area. Great stocks, great pick, and thank you for your support in here. All right, and let any more stocks, do let us know, and we'll be happy to share with you in here that we have. All right, and of course, not to forget, tonight, do join me for our part 1, how to identify good stocks and sign of market bottoming out. That's for part 1, and we will continue also on Saturday, which is the good stocks and market bottoming, and also part 2, where we will be doing our Master the Market preview this Saturday at 2 p.m. 2 to 4. Now, if you have time, do join us this Saturday on 2 to 4 p.m. for what to be expect in our masterclass, and something that along the lines that we talk about in here, continuing where we left off, will be market bottoming textbook study case study that some of you may be able to pick up some of these good points that you can use for. All right, so tonight 9:30, I'll see you tonight in here. And of course, with our market conference in here, the speakers has already been invited. They are ready for you on the 12th of March in here. We've got two international speakers, Ramon Borogov, which is a Wyckoff from analytics. He is an adjunct professor from the Golden Gate University. And of course, we have our very friendly trading psychologist, Wyckoff expert, Dr. Gary, and also not to mention the Kennington CFO, Mr. Jong, and also our Mr. Chung Kam Ki from the Macquarie, which will enlighten with you what opportunity you can behold for the year 2022. So all that on the 12th of March. And do share this market conference with your friends and your colleagues. Let them know about it in here. And all they have to do is, use SMARTRobie apps, recommend to their friends, get the points. You can, once you just get your friend to install the SMARTRobie app, when you get the free credit, then you can come for this free conference on the 12th of March. So thank you for your support in here. Thank you. We really hope that you have benefited from all our flagship analytics as well as some of our lessons that we talk about in here. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all things related to the stock market and topic in here. And of course, don't forget to join our Telegram chat room for all free stock market information. And of course, we are very happy so far that if you have any more stocks or any things that do have some of our friends and members do come in, how about coming and joining this career, which is in the stock and investment in here. So there's something I also can advise some of your children who wanted to move into this. It may look a bit, sexy, it may look a bit, but again, it's all hard work, and most important is the interest that you have and never to give up. So that's all we have for you in here, and I do hope to see you tonight and also this coming Saturday for our masterclass preview to the mid-February masterclass that we have, which is our first intake for this year. Okay, with that, I'll see you later tonight. Bye bye.